Hey guys, it is Jeremy Kurlikowski here, and I'm excited to talk about saving money. We're going to talk about saving money. Should you be focusing on saving money? Should you not be focusing on saving money? And the reason we're going to talk about this is because I'm so tired of the same old advice that basically just says, if you want to get out of debt, you gotta pinch some pennies. You gotta clip them coupons. You gotta get that discounted, nearly expired meat. You gotta get that lettuce that's not quite rotten, but it's almost rotten. But you see it, but you can't quite tell. But it's on discount, so we're gonna save you some money. And you need to download those discounted, those money saving apps. And you need to go do all this stuff. And you need to sit over your budget for hours every week and try to find out ways to save money. And guys, there is so much advice out there. I say this because I was watching a video the other day, and I love the lady. She's so sweet. I know what she's trying to do. She's just trying to help people who feel like there's no other way for them to really get out of debt or build wealth aside from doing that. I especially find this to be true for a lot of moms that are stay-at-home moms, and we love stay-at-home moms. My wife stays at home. She works. I mean, she's in her business, works, but she used to be totally uninvolved with the making or generation of income, and she used to just totally be devoted just to the day in and day out stuff. And so I get the mindset behind that. But what we found is that idea, it is costing you so much money, and it is robbing you of so much of your ability to really build wealth and really get out of debt. And I said stay-at-home moms because I've just found that for whatever reason, there seems to be a lot of like talk and chatter that basically like the best way for you to really contribute financially is just by being like a robot that's trying to save money all day, every day, in every way you shape you can. And I just found that like that's just not true. And that most women that are staying home, that by the way, this isn't just for staying home, this is for anybody who's like being told like the best way for you to get out of debt is just by like focusing on saving money and pinching pennies and clipping coupons and all this kind of stuff. I just found that like those women have so much more value than like something that's a $10 an hour task. And this is for anybody. Like if you've been told, which there's a ton of rhetoric, ton of story out there about if you want to get out of debt or you want to build wealth, you got to focus on that. I just want to talk to you. Like if you are frustrated, if you are feeling like, Jeremy, I feel like I'm squeezing blood from a turnip. Like I got nowhere else to go. Like I've only got so much. So like, guys, this is for you. And the reason why we're talking about this is because, again, there's just a lot of bad advice out there. And a lot of you guys, like you feel helpless. You feel powerless because you're trying your best to get out of debt. You're trying your best to really build wealth. But the ideas that you're being given are just, they're old, outdated, and they're faulty, and they just aren't very good. Like they're good if that's all that you believe your value is maybe a $5 or $10 an hour task. But I believe if you're watching this, your value is so much more. And I believe that you really could build wealth by focusing more on your opportunities and your potential and the gifts and the assets and the ways that God has blessed you and given you abilities to really create value in the world and make money and get thank yous with presidents' faces on it. I really believe that should be your focus. And we're going to talk about why. So the reason why I think that should be I know it should be your focus, because really, guys, when you're focused on saving money, it's really, it's called like being a penny wise and a dollar foolish, or you could also say like stepping over a dollar to pick up a dime. It is focusing on the wrong thing. And if you really think about it, like if like all of these different, first of all, like I'm not downing like saving money, like, right? Like whenever we work with people, we're going to look at like, what are some like really basic common ways that like a lot of people are losing money? Like it could be insurance things or just there's lots of different ways that are just like no brainers. Like you should save money, because it's like, hey, if you can save $100 a month by just making like a 30-minute phone call, why not do it? Right. That makes sense. But most of the ways that people do it, it's not on that. It's all these little nitpicky little piddly ways of like scouring the internet for hours to save, 20% off and save $10, on this thing, or like sign up for this service. And if we cancel this, then maybe like we could save some money here or do whatever. It's like, that's just not the primary way to really like long-term be able to build your wealth. And so I'm just sharing this because I know a lot of you guys are frustrated. So really the reason why it doesn't work is because, again, it's all the time that you're putting on saving money. It's time that you could be spent really focusing on making money. And I know for some of you, you might be watching this going, Jeremy, I don't feel like my time is really worth that. But I would just ask you to really ask yourself right now, is that really true? Like, if you really think about it, think about all the cool stuff you've done in your life. Think about the things that you're really gifted at, you're interested in, or think about some of the things that like if you really wanted to devote yourself to, you could have that skill set that could earn you more than maybe a $10 an hour task, which is really all that like focusing on saving money is worth. Like, if you really think about it, what we've found to be true is that every single person we've ever seen, you have so much more potential and so much more value than that. You should really be focusing on not just saving money primarily, like, but making money. And so that's what I want to talk about is like, if you realize and you're following my logic here, like, okay, Jeremy, like I'm tired of trying to save money and like hunch over my budget and like really do something that is like, it's annoying anyway. No one wants to focus on all that numbers. It's boring. It's not really like, it doesn't get you excited about life. And on top of that, it just ultimately like doesn't give you that big of an ROI. Like, let's talk about like, well, how do I really make more money? Like, how do I do that the best way? That's a great question. Thank you for asking. So how do you make money the best way? And maybe before we get into that, you might be going like, well, Jeremy, I'm already taxed on my time. I'm already working a full-time job. I'm already yada, yada, yada. Okay, we'll talk about that. Okay, what should you do? Now, I can't get too deep into the nitty-gritty because we don't believe in cookie cutter solutions. Everybody's different, but we'll just kind of give you guys a general overview of like our approach and when we're working with clients, like what we would want to do. Okay, so you got to obviously like focus on getting your money under control. You got to focus on like what are some areas where you can commonly save. Like, that's important. Like, everyone should do that. But once you get out from underneath that, guys, it's all about income generation, because again, you can only save so much money, and saving money is not usually what's going to bring in the thousands of dollars extra a month that a lot of people, not everybody, but a lot of people need to get out of debt. But if you really, not just that, we personally believe that like, if all you want to do is get out of debt, that sucks. You know, like, I want you to build wealth. I want everyone watching this to become multimillionaires, because I believe the more money you have in this world, the more godly people who love Jesus have money, the more cool stuff we're going to be able to do for the kingdom. Okay. So that's really why we do that. Now, guys, if you're doing that, the reason why we want you to focus on income generation is, again, like, now you can focus on like, where can we bring in the extra 1,000, 2,000, 3,000, whatever, however much money a month. But again, a lot of you guys might be going, I feel like I already don't have time. So here's the thing. Okay. If you're already working a full-time job, ask yourself, is this really the most that I could possibly make in my profession? So in other words, like, we just have a couple that we started working with. He's like a school teacher, and he's like, listen, like, in my day job, I'm making the most that I can possibly make. So he's like, there's no pivot for me in terms of like, I can't just go like to another school and make more money there, or like maybe he doesn't have the ability to become a principal or doesn't want to become a principal. So the obvious answer is like, there's one of two things. Like, you're either going to find a new profession that's going to allow you to be able to over time double, triple, quadruple your income. Because like, why not? If you can make more money, like, and have more fun doing it, which even like with teachers, there's tons of jobs like that. Nurses, even, like, I've loved, it was my dream thing, but it's like, you really get into what they really love. And it's like, oh, but I really love real estate. I love that just as much, if not more. Well, there's no income ceiling on that. So it's really cool when you start digging into it. I think it's a lot of fun. And in a situation like that, where maybe you've got a job where you're like, there's no upward mobility. We see this a lot with like certain nurses, if they can't really get promoted, or, necessarily paid a whole lot more per hour, or teachers, things like that. There's some jobs out there that it's like, it really, like, the more you perform, like, the more, like, you're not necessarily going to do better, or you can't really go that big of a leap. What we would want to have people do is, okay, like, now what is it, like, how can we, if you're not going to like do that, then obviously you're either going to leave your job to find something different that is also working for someone else, or you start your own business. Now, if you're watching this, I would not recommend you quit your day job today and like, I'm going to start my dream business, right? I would like for you to get some momentum. But what we found, guys, is that if whatever you end up starting, let's just say you decide to start a business, which everybody watching this could be a business owner. Okay. I told myself I could never be a business owner. I don't like math. I suck at accounting. I don't know what profit is. I don't know what a profit and loss is. Blah, blah, blah. You can learn it. Okay. And it's really like, what's in the way of you getting there is all of your beliefs and your emotions that hold you back, that keep you stuck and keep you playing small and keep you not feeling like you can step into something greater. That's a lot of what you need to work through. That's a lot of what we work through. I don't have time to get into that right now, but that is really, guys, the biggest obstacle. So assuming you could work through all those fears, all those anxieties, all those insecurities, which I had for years, guys, when I was a janitor, picking up, mopping up pee on the floor, clean up at our church building. Like, I was not thinking, oh yeah, surely I'm going to be a multi-6-figure a year business owner. Like, I didn't think that. I had to work through a lot. Okay. And so can you, when you get the right help. Okay. There are ways to hack the system and like recreate the way that you see yourself and what's possible, and like give yourself the skill set to go do it. But let's just say again, you decide you wanted to start a business. Here's the thing, guys. Like if you're going to start a business, it needs to be something that lights you up. Like it needs to be something where you're basically monetizing your passion. And we do not recommend, this is where I'm also going against the grain. I do not like the idea out there. It's like, if you just want to do this, okay, well, income generation. Now you're like, oh, are you telling me to go deliver pizzas? Are you telling me to go drive Uber? No. Like that is a sign, like that is basically like your death warrant, like your whatever your death wish. Like you might as well sign that certificate now, because you're going to be burnt out, you're going to be exhausted, your family's going to miss you, you're going to be sick and tired of it. It's not sustainable. Like how many rich people are like sitting around like, oh yeah, the way I got rich was by driving Uber and delivering pizzas. Now, if you're doing that right now, I'm not hating on you. I'm trying to give you some inspiration. Okay. I'm trying to give you a better way to be able to do this. And so what I'm saying is, like, let's just say, okay, I've got a full-time job. I don't plan on leaving. Well, I would recommend like start a business now. But here's the thing, okay? You need to be able to find a way to do it in a way that works for you, in a way that works with your schedule, like in a way that is exciting for you. And guys, if you're watching this, like if you're already working a day job and you're working some kind of side thing to be able to get on top, like to be able to do like on top of what you're already doing in the day, if you ain't liking it, it's got to go. Like it's not energize you, if it's not like playing a video game or watching a movie, this is like doing Netflix in a lot of ways. Like I love it. I love helping people. I love connecting. I don't have to like drag myself out of bed to do a Facebook Live or to do an email. Now, those things are still not even as much fun as working with people, and I like that even more. But like this is not torture for me. Okay, I like it. It's fun. So I like being able to help you guys, and I like being able to serve you guys. And if you're going to do it, it needs to be like that. It needs to be something exciting. It needs to be something fun. And it should not, but here's the thing as well, guys. It should not be like a 60, 70, 80-hour week grind for like a year. Okay. Like there is a time where you need to pay a price ultimately if you're going to start a business. And what business do I start? I don't have time to get into all that, but that's part of what people need help with. It's like everyone's different. Everyone has unique things, unique, areas of opportunity and skill set and all this kind of cool stuff. But if you're going to do it, it's got to be short term. Like this cannot be something that's going to last like 6 months, a year, 2 years, where you're just doing all these like 60, 80. I just don't believe in that. That's a lot of the advice that's there. It's like work this side hustle for the next like 5 years until you get out of debt. That's not sustainable. Like your family's going to hate you. Your kids are going to pee on your grave. It's just not going to work. Okay. So you can't do that. So you need to find something that's going to be fun, that's going to be enjoyable, that's going to be like a hobby, but you're making money at it. And it's got to be something that has like some real potential to be able to actually replace your 9 to 5, because that's ultimately our strategy that we want people to do. Like if it's not enough money to make more money in your day job, like it's not a good side hustle, or it's not a good business. Like it's a waste of time. And that's where we go against the grain on a lot of it. Whereas like a lot of what you're being told out there is like work a job where maybe you make the equivalent of $40 an hour and then go work a side job where you're making 10, $15 an hour. That's just dumb. Like, why would you not spend your time investing on your side thing, making sure that it could at least replace your day job, especially if you like it more than your day job, and then that has an opportunity for you to scale. Now, again, if you have a day job and you're in a position where it's like there's a great opportunity for upward growth very quickly, or you've got like, a commission-based job, I think that that's great. That could be a great opportunity for you to just work on how do I get into a place of peak performance to be able to make the most money. Well, we see some of the best results with our clients that do have a commission-based job where their performance is directly going to directly affect what they make on their paycheck, which I think is awesome, right? So if you have that, you don't necessarily need to dump it. If you're watching this though, I think that maybe right now, like maybe you're already like your brain's kind of frazzled and you're like, where do I begin? Well, guys, again, ultimately, like this is a shameless plug. Everyone's different. Like if you need help, come like book a call. Let's see if we can help you. And it's like, we're not gonna be able to figure this out on a call. This is ultimately what we work with people with, but over the course of 8 weeks and beyond. But ultimately, if you need like help, like it starts with like figuring out what's not working and what is keeping you stuck. So if you got to do that, book a call, but let's keep going. Okay. So you might be thinking like, Jeremy, like, how do I know? How do I know what business to start? How do I know like what job to pursue or what industry? And it's really interesting. What, Jeremy? What's really interesting is that we have found that when you teach people how to focus on the outcome and get clear on what it is that they actually want, that the how will come. I'll say it again. If you focus on the outcome, the how will come. And here's what we found to be true. And I tested this, okay? Because I'm like, is this bogus? Like, I started seeing some results doing this with people, and I felt so much pressure to have to like tell everyone the exact thing. Like, here's how you should do it, and you should go do this. And I like watch certain shows of like financial gurus where they're basically like telling people, you need to do this, you need to do this job, whatever. But we started getting people clear on like what exactly it is that they want in their life. What exactly is it that they want in their lifestyle, and how much money do they want to be making, and what kind of things are they interested in that they would like to pursue, and all of these sorts of areas. And then on top of that, removing all of the fear and the self-doubt and all the lies and the things that they've believed for years that have been keeping them stuck. Guys, I've just found when you like every single person, if you're watching this, I believe that if you are like, well, you all are made in the image of God. And I believe that you are made in the image of God. And what's really cool about that is that the God of the universe who created you, with whom like all creativity, and I mean, just creativity, let's just leave it at that. Like creativity dwells, like he's put if you're a Christian, he's put his spirit within you. But then on top of that, what's really cool is even if you're just in his image, like you have this ability to be massively creative. So what we found, guys, is that if you've lived on this earth, even if you've been alive, if you're like 5 years old, my daughters know what they want to do when they grow up. Now they might change their mind, but they already have ideas of like what they're interested in, what they're passionate about. And so many people come to us in their 30s, 40s, 50s, even 60s. And some of them are like, well, I don't know what I want to do or whatever. And it's just because society has beaten it out of you. Society has beaten out your dream and filled you with so much fear and so much doubt and so much hesitation. And you feel like you don't have the money, you don't have the time. And it's all of these lies and all these things you're believing and all this overwhelm and all this doubt and all this stuff that when you can get that out of the way, it's like the cream that just rises to the top. Like the idea comes. And I can honestly say that I'd say like honest to God, like 98% or even better of the time, I don't even necessarily need to say like, this is what I think you should do. People will come onto our calls and be like, Jeremy, you won't believe it. This is what we should do, or this is what we're thinking about doing. And it's like, absolutely go for it. Like we had a client call last Thursday, and one of the guys I love him. He was like, hey, we're teaching him how to get clear on like, what is it that he want? And like, what exactly does that look like and feel like? And removing all of like the stuff between him and his dream. And what's amazing is that he's like, hey, my boss offered to be able to pay for me to do this coding thing. And I know that, coding is one of the best ways for me to make a lot of money in a shorter period. And it was like, it was there. It was right there. And he was like, there you go. And like, or another person, like we just had that, like they're in real estate and he's a pastor, and he was like looking at all of his options. And we were talking about the outcome and helping them work through all these fears. And all of a sudden, like, boop, 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 like just right to the top, he's like, oh, back in 2008, I crushed it in real estate. I did a great job. And I was like, oh my gosh. And then we got clear on that. And it was like, but the reason why he didn't go back to it was because of fear of failures, because he really struggled and he had a hard time back then. And so we worked through that. We got over all of that, all of that mind trash, all the fear and the anxiety around it and all that kind of stuff, helped him reframe it, helped him get excited. And now he's going back and he's getting a real estate license, and his wife is a nurse. And she's like, wow, well, I loved it when we would drive around. I loved it when we would do these things together. It was amazing. It was so much fun. And now together they want to become a partner because she's been wanting to get out of her job and she's been wanting to do something more fun that allows them to hang out together all day long and make money, which is what my wife and I get to do, which is really freaking cool. So all that to say that if you're watching this, everybody's different, right? Everybody's different. But if you've already got like a day job, that's the strategy that we would recommend, like in general. Now, there's so many nuances to implementing this. How do you do it right? Like, how do I get a better raise? Like, how do I get paid more for what I'm worth? How do I negotiate that? The promotion, like, how do I, like, if I'm going to start a business, where do I begin? Like, what are the best opportunities? Like, what are all the, I've got that, guys. Like, if people, like, we literally had a call on Thursday, they were like, what are the ways for us to like basically go from like 0 to 10K or more a month in the next 3 to 6 months? Like, what are those business opportunities? And guys, like, there are a lot of things that are working right now in 2021 that would allow you guys to make a lot of money in a short period of time. It doesn't mean you're not going to have to learn an additional skill set, but you'd be amazed how many things there are out there. And we just have a pulse on it because we're seeing it in my clients, my peers, their peers. It's like, we just know what works. Like, what are some of those ways? But sometimes you don't even have to get a bigger skill set. Sometimes you already have the skill set. It's just a matter of why are you not implementing it and what's really holding you back from taking full advantage of it. But if you're watching this and you already have a business and you're a full-time business owner, what we have found is that there are tweaks and things that you need to be doing in your business mostly in your mindset that is holding you back and keeping your business from being successful, right? It's like maybe you're bogged down in all of this. You feel like you're doing everything and you're running around like a chicken with your head cut off, and your personal finances are a mess, and maybe your business finances are a little bit of a mess. And it's like you've got like you need to spend money on marketing, but you don't feel like you have the money and all, or whatever it would be. There are so many things. Like, honestly, business owners are some of the people that get the best results, because when you help people work through what are all of the ways in which I'm sabotaging myself in my business and I'm keeping my business small, it's amazing. Like, and you build a better work-life balance. You help them get it so that they can get clear on, again, what do I want for my business? What kind of life do I want to create with it? And then how do I have a plan and a structure and a timeline to get there? Guys, it is amazing what can happen for your ability to not only get out of debt very quickly, but really like explode, like, and blow the ceiling off of your income, of like the income ceiling, and really get it to where you guys can build wealth. You can do it very quickly. You can do a lot of really cool stuff, and you don't have to be focused so much on like saving a dollar here, a dollar there. You can spend most of your time focusing on like, how can I make 30, 40, 50, 100, 200 plus $300 an hour sort of opportunities. And I don't care who you are watching this, I believe that you can do it. I really do. But I do believe that you need help. Okay. Because I don't know a lot of people that are able to completely 180 their like their income earning potential and all these sorts of things without some outside support, some outside service, and some people that are really helping you figure out like, why is it not working? And why, when you try to do these things, or you apply for these jobs, or you try to run this business, like, what is it that's holding you back? What is it that's really keeping you stuck from being successful in that? And so you got to have a plan for your current income. Going back like full circle, you got to have a plan for your current income, guys. Like, you just do. But at the same time, like, you should save some money if you can save it. You should plan it. You need to get that under control. Like, that's step one. But step two is, again, like, how do we totally take off the ceiling and get it so that like our income earning potential is unlimited? And everyone, if you're watching this, it is unlimited. It's just a choice. And it's a choice to reach out and be like, hey, listen, I don't know what the heck I'm doing. I'm not sure the best approach. I'm not sure the best way to do this for us in a way that works for our lifestyle and our family, which, again, going back to the outcome, a lot of people are freaked out thinking, oh my God, is he going to make me work 60 hours a week and 80 hours a week and do all this crazy stuff? No, like, the whole point of why we're talking about this topic is because so many people think it has to be miserable. It has to be a grind. It doesn't. If you are saying, you know what, I want to be able to make $100,000 a year working 40, or whatever, say 20 hours a week, and I still want to be an awesome mom, and I still want to take, the weekends off and things, guys, again, you have to get clear on what is the outcome that you want. And then from there, you work backwards and create a plan to get you there. And that's so much of what we're working with people to figure out, like, what is it that you want? How would it feel? What would it look like to create that? Like, what needs to be put in place plan-wise strategically to do that? And then, like, how do we execute, and how do we hold your hand all the way until you've been able to achieve that outcome? And that's what we're the best in the world at doing. And that's what our clients do. And it's not that hard when you have help and you have people that have done it time and time and time and time and time again. We have people that have gotten crazy bonuses, crazy raises, crazy promotions, crazy double, triple, quadruple revenues, business, all of those sorts of things, guys. You absolutely can do that for you, but you just need some help. So if you need some help, go to jeremykurlikowski.com/apply, and we will see what's going on in your financial life, like what needs to be improved upon, like what's holding you back, where do you want to be, like what's the best approach to get you to where your ultimate outcome is. If you decide, hey, I want to be debt-free in 6 months, or I want to be debt-free in a year, or I want to be able to triple, quadruple my income so that we can get caught up on retirement, but I want to do it in a way that's fun, it's exciting, and it's not draining. All of those sorts of things, guys, that's what we love to do. And that's what we're really freaking good at. And we've done it ourselves. Like, we've created a life where I get to be at home all day. I get to hang out with my family. I get to travel. I get to make good money. I get to like give. I get to help people, like doing what I love. It feels like a video game most days. Like, I just love my life. Like, I've done it. We've helped our clients do it. If you want it, you can do it too. It doesn't matter how much you're struggling right now or how not enough of this you think that you are. I promise nobody is too far gone from being able to make their dream a reality. You just need some commitment, and you need a strong desire and a sick and tired, which is how it started for me. I am sick and tired of not being able to live the life that I want to live. And I want freedom. I want peace. I want impact. I want to feel satisfied, and I want to feel like just fulfilled in what I'm doing all day, every day. And I want to make a lot of money doing it so I can do a lot of good in my family and in the world. And if that's you guys, reach out and let's see if we can help. Okay. So have an awesome Facebook Live, or well, I reached out an awesome Facebook Live. Have an awesome night. I mean, I'm about to go on a hot date with my wife, and we're going to have some fun, paint the town red. Actually, it's snowing outside, so it's already been painted white. I don't know if we'll paint red. We're having some pizza. Pizza sauce is red. You guys can tell I'm hungry. So I will see you guys on the next show, and I'm excited to hang out with you. Thanks for hanging out with us tonight, and we will see you guys soon. God bless. Talk to you soon.